So I always get like really great questions on YouTube, like all the time. And I have a lot of people to answer. Don't worry, guys, I promise. I'm going to answer your questions. It just takes me a little while sometimes because I get a lot of questions. But they all matter to me and I want to answer them all. Today, I want to answer a special one. Marie Viller wrote a question to me and it was pretty, I think I want to answer it because I had the same questions when I was contemplating whether I was going to go to NP school or not. So I think this will be really helpful for a lot of you guys. So I'm going to read the question and then I'm going to answer it. So this is what it says. Nurse Lada, this is Marie again. Thank you for your reply. I have another question for you. Today, one of my managers told me that nurse practitioners have been overrated and that they don't get paid. And before considering to go into it, I should really research to see whether or not I'm going to like it, which I know I already do. But she also told me that after a while, I would feel like I'm not doing anything more than what I'm currently doing as a regular nurse. She suggested that I go into management. I wanted to get your opinion about that. Did you ever regret to choose this career? Why or why not? Awesome question. I have so much to say about this that I had to make a video about it. So let's kind of start from the top. So she said that nurse practitioners have been overrated and they don't get paid. And she should research whether or not she really wants to go into this. About the nurse practitioners being overrated, I don't really agree with that. And the reason why is because everyone has their own goals. And it's not about being overrated. It's just people are excited when they attain a goal that they set for themselves. So for those of you that have always wanted to be nurse practitioners and finally you get through this gruesome program and you make it, we're all going to be clapping for you and cheering, and of course you're going to be running around. I'm a nurse practitioner, I did it. So it's not about being overrated and like, oh, everyone's talking about it and everyone wants to go and become a nurse practitioner. Some people don't desire to be nurse practitioners, but for those of us that have set this as a goal, then yeah, a lot of people are going to be excited about it and a lot of people are going to talk about it. So it just depends on what you want out of life, and it's becoming a nurse practitioner is going to be not that interesting to a person that's not interested in becoming a nurse practitioner. So we all know that all nurses don't want to be nurse practitioners. So it just depends on your goals in life. So I think that your manager is probably just not interested in being a nurse practitioner. So it seems to be overrated to her, but I think that's just like her personal opinion from as far as her goals, because she's not interested in it. Okay, so she also said you're not going to be doing much more than you already do as a regular nurse. Well, nurse practitioners are nurses. We're registered nurses with master's or doctoral degrees. So we are regular nurses, but we just had some, additional education. And you are doing a lot more than you did as a bedside nurse. As a bedside nurse, I followed the orders the physician or the nurse practitioner wrote. I was not able to prescribe medicine. I was not able to diagnose. So you're doing a whole heck of a lot more as a nurse practitioner. In a lot of instances, it starts with you, with your patients, and it ends with you, with your patients. You get patients, for example, that come in and they're sick. Let's pretend like they have strep throat. Well, after I diagnose you with strep throat, I'm going to treat you, and then, you're going to get better, and then that's going to be the end of that. So that's what I mean by, in a lot of instances, it starts with you and it ends with you. You have the ability to write prescriptions. You have the ability to diagnose patients. You have the ability to refer patients to specialists if you need to, nephrologist or cardiologist if you want a more intense workup. You have the ability to send them to a higher level of care. So if needed, when it comes to whether we do a lot more, it's not so much a lot more, but we have a different role. So the role of a nurse practitioner is different from the role of a bedside nurse, and I've done both. So that's a fact. Let's see. And then next, she wanted to get my opinion about whether I regret choosing this career. Why or why not? That was her last question. So I do not regret choosing this career. While I was in NP school, there were a lot of times when I felt like, is this the right choice? I'm going through a lot. I'm really stressed out. I just don't know if it's worth it. Now, as a practicing nurse practitioner, heck yeah, it was worth it. I loved being a nurse practitioner more than I thought I would. Honestly, I was so filled with fear while I was in NP school, and I sometimes would think to myself while I was in clinical, like, I'm going to be doing this stuff on my own. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can really do this. I wanted to back out a lot of times. I'm so happy I didn't. This decision was the best ever. So if you want to be a nurse practitioner and you enjoy helping people, the confidence that's needed will build up every single day you go to work. You learn something new, that confidence will build up. But was it worth the blood, sweat, and tears of the NP program? Very much so. Yes, I would do it all over again if I had to. I'm so happy. One of the reasons why I'll say is because I actually get to see people get better, and I develop relationships with my patients, and it just brings me joy to help people and to provide education so that people can live healthier lives. I really like that. I enjoy it. Another thing too would be that as a bedside nurse, I worked on a spinal cord injury rehab unit at a local hospital in Virginia, and we were doing a lot of lifting, and our patients on that unit did not just stay in the bed. They were up multiple times a day. So we were transferring people to the bathroom, and we were putting people back in bed and then getting them up for therapy and then putting them back down. And a lot of times all of that lifting and pulling and tugging can just wear on your back, and it can wear on your body. So I'm happy to not do that anymore. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just my decision for my body and how I feel about it. And some people enjoy it and they love it, and they're going to do it for the rest of their career. And that's absolutely fine. We just have to make decisions for ourselves that will benefit the lives that we want to live. Yeah, so I loved being a bedside nurse, and I love being a nurse practitioner because I took care of patients in both roles. But I really like, more than anything, that is not as physical, and I also like that I actually get to see people get better and improve, and they see me when they're healthy for physicals, and they see me when they're sick. And yeah, it's totally different, but it's so worth it. I'm so happy that I went through with it. And do your research, Marie, and make a decision from your heart. I would just say that I've learned in my life not to base a lot of my major life decisions on what other people say. And I know that you're not doing that, which is why you're asking questions, which is awesome, which is great. And I ask a lot of questions. So just take everything into consideration, and just, in the end, not taking what I say, not taking what other people say, but just doing your own research and then making your decision. But if you want to know from my viewpoint how I feel about it, I love my career and I love being a nurse practitioner. And I guess because I love it so much, I don't know who wouldn't. But everybody's different and we all have different goals. And so yeah, I hope to one day, I hope that you tell me one day that you decided to do it, and tell me how much you love it, because I know you will. So that's it, for this video. And I thank you guys for posting so many questions and looking at my videos, and I appreciate that. And I will reply to everyone that has asked a question. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope this video helps somebody, and I love you guys.